Hello everyone! I hope that you're doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha and I welcome you to another video. I'm really grateful for all the support. Recently, a lot of people have been discovering the channel and commenting on the previous videos, old videos. And so that's really interesting to see that it still resonates with people, because that's what I wanted, to kind of make content that's, evergreen, that no matter how many years pass, you can still relate to it. So that's great. And Happy New Year to all, everyone who's listening, and obviously Happy Holidays, depending on what you celebrated. I hope you had a great holiday with friends, family, or by yourself. That's kind of the vein in which I wanted to speak on as well. This video is about holidays and about how I find the whole situation of New Year's a little bit interesting and annoying sometimes, especially being on my own, because there's this idea. I mean, first of all, constantly people were asking me over the last 2-3 weeks, so what are you gonna do for New Year's? And I'm like, well, I don't have any plans. And in reality, I actually did not want to make plans. For some reason, I had this idea in my head that, and I usually have this idea whenever New Year's comes up, or these really major holidays where people put a lot of pressure on these holidays for them to be perfect. They spend tons of money, they spend tons of time, energy, resources, because this day is supposed to be perfect. Like a wedding day as well, the same kind of idea behind it, has to be perfect. Usually is not perfect, because you can't make these days perfect, because there's no way to do it. And then people end up being disappointed, and then I've noticed this happen so many times before. And so I'm not saying that you shouldn't celebrate things, of course not, you should, but like to realize that these are just one day. It's one day out of like a billion or a million, or hundreds of thousands, and depending on how long you live. And you should enjoy it as much as possible, obviously, but do not think that this is it. Okay, so like what happens to the hangover that you have after? You like celebrate really hard, or not even just like a alcoholic hangover, but the hangover of disappointment. You sit the next day and you think, yeah, I was really excited about this particular day, and then it ended up being anticlimactic. And then you sit there thinking, oh right, okay, cool, what am I supposed to do now? It's like, when you've been working for something for so long, and eventually you reach that pinnacle of success that you wanted. A lot of writers speak about this as well, like they're like, oh, I wanted to be a best-selling author for so long. And then finally I got published, and then I sat there after thinking, oh, okay, well, that was anticlimactic. And I feel like the same kind of anticlimactic notion associated with these holidays. Again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't celebrate them. I think they're great for bringing people together. I think they're great for, people who like celebrating things, who like being around other people. But this idea or notion that you have to celebrate these holidays is really annoying to me. It happens to me every single time also, because, as I said, I'm by myself here. I'm alone, I'm single, and everyone just kind of looks at me with pity. I mean, I don't know why. I think it's a Balinese thing as well. Balinese people are very much about their families, and very collective rather than individualistic, which is great. That's how they live, and they don't understand foreigners who come and who live by themselves and are fine with it. And for me, I'm thinking to myself, man, this is amazing, right? And so I'm not saying that I don't like people at all. I do hang out with people, but like just being on my own a lot of the time is actually quite soothing to me. I find it relaxing and not sad or lonely or anything like that at all. And so I can't explain that to people, unfortunately, because they don't get it. Like for them, their perception comes from a completely different culture viewpoint, right? So they're looking at it and thinking, oh my God, poor little girl, she's by herself. And for me, I'm thinking, wow, like I'm so lucky. I get to be alone. I mean, I get to be on my own, and I get to do what I want, and I am free. And I'm looking at it from a different perspective. And so, as I said, lots of people ask me all the time whenever there's a big holiday coming up, oh, so my God, so what are you gonna do, la la la. And in a lot of cases, I'm like, I'm not gonna do anything, man. I'm just gonna sit at home, and I'm gonna probably fall asleep early because I get up early. And yeah, I'm just gonna do the same thing I do every single day, which is my life, which I love. And like they always look at me like, but it's New Year's, or but it's Valentine's Day, or but it's Halloween, or but it's Christmas. And I'm like, yeah, well, a lot of these holidays are very consumeristic and capitalistic anyways, and I don't want to condone them or I don't want to contribute to them, so I don't really care about them. That's what I think in my head. I can't actually say that out loud because they'll just look at me like, what is wrong with you? So in general, my idea is that, like a lot of these holidays, yeah, they're great. When I'm with my family, I celebrate whatever holiday is around. I'll spend time with them and I'll do what is necessary to be social. I'll play the game of being social. But I'm on my own now. I don't have to play any game. I don't have to pretend like I like these holidays or like I want to celebrate a random holiday that's thrust down upon us by society. Like, I'm not Christian. Not that if I was Christian, I would want to celebrate it, but I'm not Christian. I don't want to celebrate Christmas. Like, it's not a holiday that I care about. And New Year's, yeah, it's great, but like, why specifically focus on this random time script that we're given where like it said, oh yeah, so this is the new year. It could be any other new year too. Like the Mayan calendar, if you follow that, there's a different new year. If you follow the Balinese calendar, it's a completely different new year's. Like the Balinese people don't celebrate this new year. It's not, for them, it doesn't make any sense at all when people are celebrating New Year's because they don't celebrate this new year. For them, New Year's is a different time of the year. And so it's really fascinating to me to see that, And so like it is just a random day that has been given to us as a prescription, being like, hey, this is the new year, so like you should celebrate it. And also all the other freaking holidays that were constantly thrust down upon us. The same thing, Mother's Day, Father's Day, all of these random holidays. Why are there so many random things that you have to celebrate? The reason I really don't like it also, as I said, is because there is this like pressure on everyone to do things a certain way, constantly being put down if you're not doing things the right way. And so, for example, Mother's Day, like my mom always gets disappointed that her kids don't do enough for her. And then she'll be kind of comparing how we did things, which is very poorly all the time, with other children who did things for their parents and always did really well. And so she'll always compare and feel sad and be like, oh my God, this Mother's Day sucks. And I always think to myself, I don't think I need to do something specific for you on this specific day. I'm always doing things for you. I'm always trying to make sure that you're happy and all that stuff when I'm around you. And so why does it have to be this freaking particular day? Like, why? And why are we comparing ourselves to other people really all the time? And so same kind of idea with Christmas too, like people, a lot of kids I noticed, they get their gifts and then they're disappointed, being like, well, but I wanted this. And I remember when I was a child, I was like that too, but I wanted that. And now this whole day is ruined because of it. Well, that's not what this freaking day is supposed to be about anyways, right? And so, I've kind of given myself permission in the last few years for a lot of different things, but particularly for this, to be okay with the fact that I don't actually want to celebrate these random days. They're just days that have been kind of, as I said, prescribed to us. I could just randomly choose a day, be like, all right, this day, I'm going to celebrate that day as a New Year's. Why not, So in general, I don't like to celebrate these days, and I've given myself permission, as I said, to not celebrate them. I don't do anything. I pretend like it's exactly the same day. There are some days I do celebrate, like Earth Day. I do really like certain days where I do celebrate them, but that's because it's not about being a consumer. It's not about buying things. It's not about gifting things to people who already have a lot of shit already. It's about being, Earth Day is like, okay, switch off all the lights and appreciate our beautiful Earth. I like that, that kind of holiday I can get behind. And so I would like to have more of those holidays where, like, you have Family Day, where like it's not about buying things for your family, but spending time together. Or about Tree Day, where you kind of go to your favorite tree and hug it and tell it that you love it and do nice things for it. Why can't we have more holidays like that? I would like to do things like that. So as I said, in general, I'm like, yeah, I don't do anything. It's fine with me. And when people ask me, I don't make up stories. In the past, I would do that. Like, oh yeah, maybe I'm like, no, I don't do anything. I'm going to fall asleep at 8 p.m. probably, 8:30 maybe. I think I fell asleep at 9:30 or something. And the only reason I fell asleep so late, normally I fall asleep at 8:30, is because there were so many fireworks. And so like it was so loud outside, so I had to put on earplugs. It took me longer to fall asleep. And so, and I'm sure, I have no idea if there was any kind of countdown near me or any kind of noise. I did not hear it. I was deep asleep and I woke up at 6. And it was New Year's and I was really excited and grateful. I was grateful for the fact that, I'm still alive and I'm still breathing and I have all these amazing days to be alive, to be on this planet, to observe, to do, and so I was grateful. I'm not saying that I'm a completely cynical buffoon, but I did realize that, I am not really into all of these like random holiday celebrations. I am not saying that I don't celebrate things. I'm not saying that I don't want to hang out with people. I'm not saying that I don't want to be social. I do things, certainly, sometimes. But like when there's, as I said, this additional pressure of, oh my god, I really have to enjoy this day, it's the last day, oh my god, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I might do it, I might not do it. I'm not saying I'll never do it. I'm just saying that I don't want to do it just because of the pressure of it. And if I just want to spend time at home and not do anything, that should be allowed. It's so funny, as I said, so many people were like, but really, you're just gonna sit at home? Also, a lot of people afterwards, I was like, yeah, I just fell asleep at 8:30. They're like, you fell asleep? You didn't even count down? And I'm like, no. Oh man, I can't stay awake till midnight to count down for what? What am I counting down to anyways? And so yeah, maybe I'm just becoming quite cynical about these ridiculous things. But in general, like, my time has become so precious to me. And I'm sure you feel the exact same way as well. You know, INFJs really care about time. And so I don't want to waste it on nonsense. I don't want to waste it on stupid things. I want to sleep really well at night so I can do things with my day that I really care about. You know, I want to be awake and happy for them. And so I really want to focus on, you know, the books I'm reading and the stories I'm writing and the people I'm meeting and the volunteering I'm doing, etc. Like the things I really care about, rather than being like, oh, right, okay, yeah, this is a day, I need to celebrate it, I need to get really drunk or whatever it might be. Not that I drink, but you know, that kind of thing. And then I hear all these other people telling stories like, oh yeah, I got really, really drunk. It took me 2-3 days to recover. I'm like, 2-3 days? I don't have 2-3 days to waste on being hungover, man. I got things to do. So yeah. So anyways, I wanted to share this with you because a couple of you have mentioned things about holidays, and I just feel like you gotta really look at it and say, okay, this is a limited amount of time I would have on this planet. How do I want to spend it? And each day matters. Like each day you have to be like, okay, how am I gonna spend this day today? I'm not saying you have to do a lot of things. I'm just saying that how do you want to do it? How do you want to spend your day? If it is just sitting around and staring off to space, then do it. You know, it doesn't matter if it's the first of the year or whatever else random number has been given to you. It does not matter. If you want to do what you want to do, you do it, and that's that. Try as much as possible as well, because like your family is obviously going to be forcing you to do this and that, but you can be like, well, I'm old enough to decide now, right? And I definitely am old enough. Maybe you're not yet, and so you have to kind of go along with family for a bit. But one day you'll get there. One day you'll be independent, and then you can be like, yeah, no, I am going to go and sit in my room. I'm not going to do anything, and I don't care what day it is today. It is not my issue. Anyways, I would love to hear from you and to know how you spend your holidays. I'm not going to judge if you did drink a lot and all that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I'm doing me and you're doing you, and that's how it's supposed to be. And so I'd love to hear from you. And again, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, etc. All of that. And I hope you all have an amazing 2024 with all of your dreams and wishes and all that stuff fulfilled, and you get what you want, and you do what you want, and you are what you want. And again, thank you for being on my channel. I shall see you in the next video. Bye for now.